So we're back live, and there's Delegate Levine. So what you been up to?
You know, this morning I had one of my most important bills up, the House Bill 1316, which would codify the recommendations that came out of the Board of Education's SOQ meeting back in October. And ultimately, the reason why this legislation is so important is because it would allow for us to fully fund our schools in a way that has never been done before. You know, we talked a lot about the governor's introduced budget and how there's more funding historically there than it has ever had. However, when you look at what the needs are, particularly in urban schools like mine, even equity issues in large counties like Chesterfield, which is also mine, if you span over to the far southwest, if you look over Norfolk, Newport News, and Hampton, there are significant needs that we are still yet to address. And so my day started at 7 a.m. trying to speak to this legislation. I was really proud to be joined by the BEA, the Legal Aid Justice Center, parents from PTAs from across Virginia, just a huge showing and a huge turnout, because if you run for any reason, I'm sure every politician that I've heard ever speak wants to be on the right side of fully funding our schools and standing firm and getting our teachers the resources that they need.
Awesome. And this morning, I was able to start off with the subcommittee that I'm chairing. So it's in Health, Welfare, and Institutions, and it is the Behavioral Health Subcommittee that I have the honor of chairing. And we had a really good discussion on some mental health issues and making sure that group homes are safe, but still able to do their job, and that there are that there are ways for us to make sure that peer counselors can still be screened and hired so that they can continue to do their work. And then today, both Delegate Aird and I introduced guests, and it was a wonderful day of Greek unity.
So, on the one hand, you have the amazing women of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated who have their annual Delta Days here at the Capitol, who I was so pleased to introduce to really show off all the amazing work that they've done over the last 107 years.
And then I was able to introduce my sorority, members of Alpha, Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and you got to see a lot of pink and green and red.
So, you had red for Ed, all the teachers and educators. You had red for Deltas. You had pink and green. You had the union here. You had
Orange for MS.
Orange for MS. So we literally spent more than our typical hour on the introductions and just welcoming folks to the Capitol today.
And it's so lovely to see people show up and advocate for the things that they care about. That's what it's all about. And on a much sadder note, I was able to move that the House adjourn today in the memory of Officer Katie Tyne that was killed in the line of duty in Newport News. And so we just send love to her family and to the Newport News Police Department. Just such a tragedy and such a wonderful bright light that was definitely taken out too soon. So we send that out. But yeah, it's a gallery full. And
hi from the gallery.
And I guess people still waiting because there is a wonderful resolution that we'll be taking up. The ERA will be the final vote for passage today in the House and the Senate. And what's really cool about that is, of course, we have Madam Speaker over here. But today, our Madam President Pro Tem is running the Senate. And so 2 women will be in charge where the House and Senate here, the ERA. And that's just amazing.
And one thing to look out for, the further we get down the line in session, these floor sessions will go even longer as we pass more bills and deliberate more issues. And so tune in live stream. Make sure you're following along with us. You can check the bills that we're on so that you understand the debate that's occurring on the floor. You know, we fought really hard to have transparent committee meetings and floor sessions. So participate.
Okay. Bye.